MasterChef was crazy.
MasterChef was crazy.
Youngest finalist in history.
It was really fun.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Were you scared of Gordon Ramsay?
When I went in there, a little bit, but also I don't get really that nervous by meeting anybody. It doesn't matter who it is. I'm just sort of like, you know, because when you meet anybody, you guys know this, you meet anybody and you're sometimes just like, you see this huge personality online or on TV or whatever, and then you meet them and you're like, oh, look, you know, he's just a 6'2" regular guy.
You're telling me when Gordon Ramsay is in your ear yelling at you, you smell like wet bed sheets.
Yeah, let's do that.
You're an idiot sandwich.
Pretend you're him for a second.
This beef Wellington is horrible. You're horrible. You're a horrible person. Your eyes, I wish you didn't have them.
Do you have a better British accent? Scottish?
Who taught you how to cook? A corpse? Fuck you, mate. Okay. Bring it back to Arsenal. I don't know. What do they say? Like, this porridge tastes like dog meat.
I think that your content itself, the words you said were better, but your accent.
All right, give me the words.
I don't. There's something about his eyes.
Your eyes, mate. They're lying to all. Just.
So I only got really yelled at and reamed at one time, and it was. I do remember it. I just remember the way he started it was he said, "You." And he was standing on this balcony and he said it like that. It was just very intense. And what had happened was he had told everybody to stop cooking for a second. And I didn't hear him because when I cook, I get locked in sometimes, right? We were goofing around cooking and I was kind of messing around more. When I cook, I get locked in. And I was locked in. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't hear, so I kept cooking. He stopped the whole room and he just must have yelled at me for probably a minute. Maybe it was like a minute and a half. I don't know. I got bright red. Just kind of stood there and looked at him for a while, and then he stopped, and I think everyone just felt bad for me. It was almost sort of like sad because I was just like this little kid at the time.
How old were you?
Well, I was old enough. Like I was like old enough to get yelled at, certainly. But like 20, I don't know, 20, 22 maybe.
Still very young.
Yeah, I was young because everyone else in the room was probably over 35, 40, right? So I was young. But
what were you getting reamed for?
Just not listening enough. Like he said, like I've been telling you guys for X amount of time, stop cooking. You know, when I tell you to stop cooking, stop cooking, all this stuff. Yelled at me and he just kind of put me back in my place for a second. And then and then it kind of cooled down. He explained what he needed to explain, which probably took less time than he actually spent yelling at me.
Yeah.
And then we kept cooking. But it was just kind of like humiliating, right? Because for the rest of the day, I had my tail between my legs and I was just sort of like.
Does he feel bad now that you're like a internet cooking superstar?
We just passed him on YouTube.
Like that's what I'm
2
saying.
days ago.
Like you essentially
really?
sunned him.
Congrats, dude.
Well, and I'm only saying that by the way because we had a whole campaign like subscribe to Catch Gordon, whatever. Which was really
and it worked.
Fun. Yeah, he knew about it too. He mentioned it. I got to go back and judge one of the episodes of MasterChef last season. He mentioned it to me, and he's cool. He's so cool.
Well, you've gotten to spend a lot of time with him off the show because you guys have done a bunch of challenges together.
Yeah, he's great.
Is there what's like something that no one would ever suspect about him that you know? And
you know what I think is super cool that I will say is just like it's the classic case of somebody who he goes around the room, he knows everybody's name, he asks how your family is, he asks, meeting as many people as he meets, he might not remember every single detail. I don't think it would be possible. But he actually seems like he cares what he's hearing and when he's talking to you. Last time he came and shot with us, he walked in the room. I remember my camera guy went over to try to mic him and he's like, no, hold on for a second. He just sat down on the counter and we must have talked for like 20, 25 minutes, just like the two of us hanging out, talking, asking me how I'm doing, how my parents doing, because he's met them and my family and all that stuff. And so he's just nice. He's a cool guy.
So, wow. So a lot of times when you meet, is it kind of similar to, not to compare the two, but like meeting Logan and having like a completely different like idea based off of what people say about them, and then you meet him and you're like, wow, he actually is a really
I mean, if I'm being totally honest with you guys, I thought I would like Logan probably less than I thought I would like Gordon Ramsay because you just like you have a lot of stuff that people go after you online.
Yeah, for sure.
And I don't believe everything I see on the internet, unlike I think a lot of people in the world. They just see anything and they're like, oh, that happened, right? And I think we know like a lot of the time it comes out that something may have not happened or just someone made something up, right? But I mean, the internet's a tough place to live, as you guys know, right? But I think Gordon I just thought was going to be a little bit meaner in real life, and he just was not mean at all.
But there's a lot of like nuance to this stuff, and then once you factor in like the entertainment content side of things, like entertainment is entertainment, and sometimes like being mean, especially on a chef show, is amazing.
Hey guys, if you like that clip, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to see more zany clips, click the video right here.